Welcome everyone. I'm excited to kick off our presentation today. We're diving into a fascinating topic, Freemasonry in popular culture, focusing on what's happening in 2025 and beyond. Today's session is titled, Exploring Masonic Themes in Modern Media, and I'll be your guide through this intriguing subject. We'll look at how Freemasonry is portrayed in movies, TV shows, books, and digital media, and what that reveals about its influence in our culture. So, get ready to explore the hidden and not-so-hidden ways Masonic ideas are shaping modern entertainment. Let's get started. Now, let's take a closer look at how Freemasonry has permeated popular culture, starting with literature. You'll find references to Masonic symbols and themes woven into novels, often symbolizing mystery, power, or secret knowledge. These literary works help shape public perceptions and intrigue around Freemasonry. Moving on, film and television have also played a significant role, portraying Freemasons as protagonists, villains, or mysterious figures, which adds to the mystique. Music, though perhaps less obvious, sometimes subtly references Masonic symbolism or ideals, especially in genres that explore themes of enlightenment or brotherhood. Video games, on the other hand, frequently incorporate secret societies inspired by Freemasonry, engaging players with puzzles or quests rooted in Masonic lore. An important aspect to consider is the historical accuracy of these portrayals. Some are quite authentic, while others are exaggerated or fictionalized for entertainment. Lastly, social media has transformed how Freemasonry is shared and understood, allowing for both greater transparency and the spread of conspiracy theories. As we look ahead, the future of Freemasonry in popular culture will likely continue to evolve, reflecting societal changes and new media landscapes. All of these points connect back to our overall theme, understanding how Freemasonry is represented and perceived outside of its traditional context, shaping public opinion and cultural narratives. Let's dive into how Freemasonry has been portrayed in popular culture. This slide gives us a broad overview of how Freemasonry is depicted in movies, TV shows, books, and other media. These representations often shape our perceptions and sometimes even myths about the fraternity. You'll notice that in many stories, Freemasonry is associated with secrecy, mystery, and powerful hidden knowledge. These themes make it a compelling subject for writers and filmmakers because they tap into our curiosity about secret societies. At the same time, these portrayals can be quite exaggerated or fictionalized, which is important to keep in mind when we analyze their impact. Throughout this presentation, we'll explore how these cultural representations influence public perception and what that means for the fraternity itself. So, understanding these portrayals helps us see the broader picture of Freemasonry's place in society and its enduring mystique. Let's take a closer look at the overview of Freemasonry. It has deep historical roots that stretch back to medieval guilds and rituals, which means it has evolved over centuries. In the 18th century, it really started to gain prominence, influencing not just society but also philosophy and culture. This period helped shape how Freemasonry is depicted in literature, film, and art, often highlighting themes like enlightenment, brotherhood, and secrecy. Now, one of the reasons Freemasonry captures so much attention is because of its aura of secrecy. This sense of mystery fuels intrigue and conspiracy theories, which in turn shape public perceptions, sometimes creating misconceptions about what Freemasonry truly is. These hidden rituals and exclusive knowledge add to its mystique and make it a fascinating subject for many. In modern times, Freemasonry is often portrayed as a secretive and influential organization. Popular culture emphasizes elements like mysticism, conspiracy, and brotherhood, which can shape how people see it today. While these portrayals generate curiosity, they can sometimes overshadow the core values of Freemasonry, its commitments to charity, integrity, and community service. Overall, understanding this overview helps us see how Freemasonry has evolved from its historical roots to the way it's perceived today, blending tradition with modern interpretations. Now, let's explore why popular culture plays such a significant role in shaping our understanding of Freemasonry. When we look at how Freemasonry is portrayed in movies, books, and art, we see that these representations often reflect broader societal values. They can spark curiosity and intrigue, making people wonder about the secrets and mysteries associated with the fraternity. These cultural images influence public perception, adding layers of mystique while also highlighting themes like brotherhood, secrecy, and enlightenment, concepts that continue to resonate today. Moving on, it's important to recognize the impact media has on how society views Freemasonry. Films, TV shows, and literature tend to emphasize secrecy and exclusivity, which can reinforce stereotypes or misconceptions. Sometimes, these portrayals stir curiosity, but they can also lead to misunderstandings about what Freemasonry truly stands for. That's why it's crucial for us to engage critically with these representations, understanding that pop culture often simplifies or dramatizes reality. Finally, we're seeing a notable increase in interest around Freemasonry, and that's reflected in how often it appears in popular culture. Whether it's through media, literature, or social conversations, more people are curious about its symbolism and core values. This renewed fascination suggests that Freemasonry's relevance endures, and that many are eager to explore its historical roots and contemporary significance. Overall, the way Freemasonry is depicted in popular culture is a powerful factor in shaping modern perceptions, and understanding this helps us appreciate its ongoing influence in society today. Now, let's explore how Freemasonry has been represented in literature over the years. It's fascinating to see how writers, poets, and playwrights have depicted Freemasonry's principles, symbolism, and secrets. These literary works often reflect society's curiosity and sometimes suspicion about the fraternity. Many authors have used Freemasonry as a backdrop for stories of mystery, secret societies, and hidden knowledge. Sometimes, they portray Freemasons as noble and enlightened individuals seeking truth, and other times, as shadowy figures involved in conspiracy. What's especially interesting is how these literary portrayals influence public perception. They shape our understanding, whether accurate or exaggerated, about what Freemasonry truly stands for. Connecting this to our overall theme, literature serves as both a mirror and a mold, reflecting society's views of Freemasonry and reinforcing or challenging its reputation. It's a vital part of how the fraternity's image has evolved and persisted in cultural consciousness. Now, let's look at how Freemasonry is portrayed in some of the most famous novels. Starting with the Da Vinci Code, which really intertwines Freemasonry with themes of secrecy and hidden knowledge. The story uses characters and plot twists to explore the tension between faith and reason, and it presents Masonic symbolism as a kind of gateway, something that can help uncover deeper truths about history and power. It's a compelling way to connect the dots between secret societies and the quest for hidden truths. Moving on to film, in National Treasure, Freemasonry is depicted as a secretive fraternity with a rich and mysterious history. The film weaves Masonic symbols and ideals into American heritage, suggesting that there is hidden knowledge within Masonic teachings, something that could lead to treasure. It's a classic adventure theme, the search for truth, mystery, and discovery, all tied together through Masonic symbolism. In literature more broadly, Freemasonry often symbolizes hidden knowledge and brotherhood. For example, Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol and Umberto Eco's Foucault's Pendulum dive deeply into themes of secrecy and enlightenment. These works reflect society's fascination with Masonic ideals and how they influence cultural narratives, highlighting our ongoing interest in what's hidden beneath the surface. So overall, these stories show how Freemasonry is often used as a symbol of mystery and enlightenment, whether in novels or movies. They tap into that universal curiosity about secret knowledge and the idea that there's more than meets the eye, whether it's about history, power, or truth. Now, let's take a closer look at symbols and themes commonly found in literature that relate to Freemasonry. One of the most recognizable symbols is the square and compass, which often appear together. These symbols represent morality, integrity, and the balance between human nature and divine principles. They remind us of the importance of ethical conduct and the pursuit of harmony in life. Beyond symbols, a central theme in Masonic-influenced literature is the search for truth and enlightenment. Many stories explore characters on journeys of personal growth, seeking knowledge, fraternity, and self-improvement. These themes reflect core Masonic ideals, values that emphasize the importance of continuous learning and brotherhood across different narratives. Freemasonry in literature also often delves into themes of secrecy and hidden knowledge. Characters may belong to secret societies or uncover concealed truths, creating tension between what is known and what remains hidden. This dynamic highlights how secret wisdom can shape identities, influence destinies, and mirror societal questions about power and enlightenment. When authors incorporate Masonic rituals into their stories, they're often symbolizing enlightenment itself, secret knowledge that leads to moral and spiritual awakening. These rituals serve as powerful metaphors for identity, belonging, and the influence of unseen forces. They reflect society's fascination with the mysterious and the universal quest for deeper understanding. Overall, these symbols and themes connect back to our broader discussion about how literature uses Masonic imagery to explore complex ideas: truth, morality, secrecy, and personal transformation, making these stories richer and more layered for us to analyze and appreciate. Now, let's explore how Freemasonry has been portrayed in film and television. Throughout the years, these mediums have often used Freemasonry as a symbol or plot device, sometimes to evoke mystery, secrecy, or intrigue. You might notice that many movies and TV shows depict Freemasons as secretive groups holding hidden knowledge or influencing world events behind the scenes. This portrayal taps into the fascination with conspiracy theories and the idea of secret societies controlling power from the shadows. However, it's important to recognize that these depictions are often dramatized or exaggerated for entertainment purposes. They don't necessarily reflect the reality of Freemasonry today, which is largely a fraternity focused on moral and personal development. Connecting this to our overall theme, the way Freemasonry is represented in popular culture influences public perception and adds to the mystique surrounding the organization. It also highlights how symbols and secret society imagery continue to capture our imagination, whether in movies or in our understanding of history. Now, let's take a look at some key films that feature Freemasonry and how they're depicted in popular cinema. Recently, blockbuster movies have started portraying Freemasonry as a secretive yet influential force. These films often weave themes of conspiracy and enlightenment into their stories, creating a sense of mystery and intrigue. For example, movies like National Treasure and The Da Vinci Code incorporate Masonic symbols and elements as crucial parts of their plots. This not only highlights the historical significance of Freemasonry, but also adds a layer of mystique that captures the audience's imagination. Moving on, Masonic symbolism in films often functions as a storytelling device. It helps deepen the narrative by emphasizing themes like secrecy, brotherhood, and moral dilemmas. For instance, in National Treasure, Masonic symbols aren't just decorative. They drive the story forward, guiding the characters and revealing hidden secrets. Similarly, in The Man Who Knew Too Much, symbols are used to engage viewers and encourage them to think about themes of knowledge and power. These symbols serve to enrich the story and prompt viewers to reflect on the broader implications of secrecy and influence. Both of these films, National Treasure and The Da Vinci Code, use Masonic themes to explore secret societies and their historical mysteries. In National Treasure, the symbols and traditions of Freemasonry are central to the plot, acting as clues that lead to hidden treasures. Meanwhile, The Da Vinci Code delves into conspiracy theories involving Freemasonry, adding layers of intrigue and historical depth. These films highlight how Freemasonry has captured the imagination of filmmakers and audiences alike, often symbolizing a deeper connection between history, secret knowledge, and power. Let's take a closer look at how television shows portray Freemasonry. Popular TV series often depict it as a mysterious and influential organization, which naturally piques viewers' curiosity. These shows tend to highlight secretive rituals and powerful connections, creating a sense of intrigue and fueling speculation. While these portrayals reflect societal perceptions, They often blur the line between myth and reality, making it hard to distinguish fact from fiction. When we analyze these series, we see that references to Freemasonry are usually wrapped in themes of secrecy, intrigue, and sometimes conspiracy. For example, shows like Twin Peaks and even The Simpsons incorporate Masonic symbols or themes, which speaks to society's ongoing fascination with secret societies. These portrayals influence how the public perceives Freemasonry, often casting it as more enigmatic or powerful than it might actually be. On the other hand, documentaries about Freemasonry aim to clear up some of that mystery. They tend to present the organization as a mix of historical importance and contemporary relevance. The real impact of these documentaries is significant. They shape public perceptions, encourage open dialogue, and help dispel misconceptions. All of this contributes to a more nuanced understanding of Freemasonry in popular culture, balancing the myths with the realities. Now, let's turn our attention to the intriguing connection between Freemasonry and music. Throughout history, we've seen how Freemasonry has influenced many aspects of culture, and music is no exception. In this slide, I want to highlight how some composers and musicians have been associated with Freemasonry, either through their membership or the themes in their work. For example, famous figures like Mozart and Beethoven were known to have Masonic ties. Their music often contained symbols, motifs, or messages that reflected Masonic ideals such as enlightenment, brotherhood, and moral virtue. This influence wasn't just superficial. It often shaped their compositions and the messages they wanted to convey. What's fascinating is that Masonic symbolism and themes can sometimes be subtly embedded in musical works, creating layers of meaning that enthusiasts and scholars continue to explore. This connection underscores how Freemasonry has permeated various cultural domains, influencing not just philosophy or architecture, but also the arts. In the context of our overall theme, this shows how widespread and integrated Masonic ideas have been in shaping cultural expressions. Music, being a universal language, offers a powerful medium through which these ideas could be communicated, celebrated, or even kept secret. It's a compelling example of how secret societies like Freemasonry have left their mark on our cultural history in subtle but meaningful ways. Let's take a closer look at how modern music incorporates Masonic themes. Notable songs like The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel and Knights of Sidonia by Muse actually weave in ideas of enlightenment, brotherhood, and the pursuit of knowledge. These songs reflect the deeper philosophical aspects of Freemasonry, even if they do so subtly. Moving on, you'll notice that many contemporary artists embed Masonic symbolism through their lyrics. They often use metaphors related to architecture, such as pillars or bridges, symbols of light to represent enlightenment, and hidden knowledge that invites listeners to explore deeper meanings. These themes parallel Masonic teachings and encourage us to think about truth and self-discovery. Finally, artists sometimes reference Freemasonry directly or indirectly to express ideas like secrecy, unity, and personal growth. By incorporating Masonic symbols, they may also be critiquing societal norms, adding an element of mystery, or sharing their personal philosophies influenced by Masonic principles. Overall, these musical references serve as a modern reflection of these ancient ideas, revealing how Freemasonry continues to inspire cultural expression today. Now, let's take a closer look at how Freemasonry appears in music videos. One of the most noticeable aspects is the visual representation of Masonic symbols. These symbols, like the square and compass or the all-seeing eye, are often used to evoke a sense of mystery or to suggest that there's more beneath the surface. Artists might use these motifs to connect their work to themes of enlightenment, secrecy, or even societal critique, adding layers of meaning that invite viewers to look closer. Moving on to artistic interpretations, many music videos incorporate Masonic imagery intentionally. They might feature rituals, symbols, or themes that speak to ideas of brotherhood and the pursuit of knowledge. These visuals are not just decorative. They reflect core Masonic values and encourage viewers to explore deeper connections. It's a way for artists to embed messages about enlightenment and hidden truths within their work, making their videos more than just entertainment. Finally, let's discuss how audiences respond to these symbols. Generally, viewers are intrigued and curious when they spot Masonic imagery. Some interpret these symbols as artistic tools, appreciating the visual storytelling. Others see them as representations of spiritual or secretive ideas. This duality sparks discussions about the blending of pop culture with secret societies, shaping perceptions and encouraging us to think more critically about what's being communicated. Overall, it shows how these symbols can serve as a bridge between mainstream media and esoteric traditions. Now, let's turn our attention to how Freemasonry has been represented in video games. You'll notice that many games incorporate Masonic symbols, themes, or myths, often blending fact with fiction to create a sense of mystery and intrigue. These representations can serve to evoke a sense of secret knowledge or hidden power, which aligns with the broader themes we've been discussing about secret societies influencing culture. For example, some titles feature characters or organizations that are clearly inspired by Masonic imagery, using symbols like the compass and square or references to ancient rituals. These elements not only add depth and layers of symbolism to the gameplay, but also tap into the collective fascination with secret societies. It's important to recognize that these portrayals often exaggerate or fictionalize Masonic principles for entertainment, but they also reflect the audience's curiosity and the cultural impact Freemasonry has had. Ultimately, video games serve as a modern canvas where these age-old symbols and stories are reimagined, connecting contemporary audiences with the mysterious allure of secret societies, something we've seen throughout history, and that remains compelling today. Now, let's explore some popular video games that feature Masonic elements. Many of these titles incorporate themes like secrecy and brotherhood, which are core to Freemasonry. For example, in the Assassin's Creed series, you'll find storylines that delve into historical conspiracies linked to Freemasonic symbolism and influence. Similarly, the Elder Scrolls series subtly alludes to Masonic symbols and rituals, adding layers of depth to their worlds and motivations of characters. Moving beyond themes, game mechanics also reflect Masonic ideas. Puzzle solving, secret societies, and symbolic rituals are common tools used by developers to embed these themes into gameplay. Players often decode symbols, complete intricate tasks, or make moral choices that mirror the principles of enlightenment and fraternity, central to Freemasonry. This integration of Masonic elements really captures players' curiosity. It sparks interest in the symbolism and rituals, making the gaming experience more immersive and engaging. As a result, it encourages discussions about themes of secrecy and brotherhood, which resonate deeply with audiences looking for richer, more meaningful stories in their games. Overall, these elements help deepen the narrative and connect players to broader themes of unity and enlightenment. Now, let's explore how symbolism is investigated within gaming, particularly focusing on the influence of Freemasonry. You might notice in many video games the use of symbols like the square and compasses, or the Eye of Providence. These symbols often carry deeper meanings. They can represent hidden knowledge, secret societies, or moral dilemmas that characters face. When integrated into gameplay, they add layers of narrative complexity and really engage players on a deeper level. Moving on, Freemasonry's influence extends into the lore of many games. It serves as a rich source of symbolism that developers draw upon to deepen storytelling and character development. By incorporating themes of secret societies and esoteric knowledge, game creators can weave Masonic principles into their worlds, making exploration more meaningful and immersive for players. And this, in turn, impacts how players perceive these games. The symbols and themes related to Freemasonry can spark curiosity about secret societies and hidden knowledge. While this can lead to a greater understanding of some Masonic principles, it's also important to recognize that it can sometimes perpetuate misconceptions. Overall, these symbols shape the way players view not just the game worlds, but also the broader ideas of secrecy and esotericism connected to Freemasonry. So, in essence, the use of Masonic symbolism in gaming isn't just decorative. It enriches the narrative, influences perception, and invites players to explore complex themes that resonate beyond the screen. Now, let's turn our attention to the historical accuracy of Masonic symbols. It's important to recognize that many of these symbols have deep roots and long histories, often dating back centuries. However, not all symbols we see today are straightforward or universally accepted as historically accurate representations of the original meanings. Some symbols, like the square and compasses, are widely recognized and have maintained consistent significance, representing morality and virtue. Others, however, have evolved over time or been adapted for different contexts, which can sometimes lead to misconceptions or exaggerated interpretations. When we examine these symbols, it's crucial to differentiate between their original historical contexts and their modern interpretations. This helps us better understand the true intentions behind their use and the principles they aim to convey. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding the historical accuracy of these symbols can deepen our appreciation of Freemasonry's rich heritage. It also reminds us that symbols are living parts of a tradition, shaped by history, culture, and the ongoing quest for knowledge and moral development. Let's take a closer look at some of the most recognizable Masonic symbols that pop up in our culture today. First, there's the all-seeing eye. You might have seen it depicted within a triangle, and its roots go back to ancient Egypt, where it symbolized divine providence or the watchful eye of the gods. In Freemasonry, it represents spiritual enlightenment and the idea that there's a higher power always observing us, the great architect of the universe. Its mystique has made it a common motif in modern media, often emphasizing themes of mystery and hidden knowledge. Next, we have the square and compass. These are perhaps the most iconic symbols associated with Freemasonry. They stand for morality and the importance of aligning our actions with ethical principles. While in popular culture, these symbols are sometimes simplified or stylized, their true meaning is much deeper. Historically, they serve as a reminder for members to lead balanced, virtuous lives, guiding principles that lie at the heart of Freemasonry itself. Now, it's interesting to see how these symbols are portrayed outside their original context. In movies, books, and art, the compass and square are often used for stylistic effect or sensationalism. But this can lead to misconceptions. Many people see these symbols and associate them with conspiracy theories or secret agendas, which isn't accurate. Their true significance is rooted in morality, ethics, and personal development, values that Freemasonry has promoted for centuries. So, when we encounter these symbols in pop culture, it's important to remember that their representations can sometimes stray from their original meanings, which are much more about spiritual growth and virtue than mystery or conspiracy. This highlights the importance of understanding the true history behind these symbols, especially as we explore how Freemasonry influences broader cultural narratives. Now, let's take a closer look at the myths versus reality surrounding Freemasonry, starting with its symbols. Many of these symbols are often misrepresented or sensationalized in popular culture, but their origins are deeply rooted in history. They actually stem from Enlightenment ideals and moral teachings, emphasizing brotherhood and charity. Contrary to some conspiracy theories, these symbols are meant to promote positive values, not sinister agendas. Moving on, it's important to understand the historical context of these symbols. Often depicted in movies or media, many of them have diverse backgrounds. Some come from medieval guilds or architectural practices. These origins reflect important values like knowledge, morality, and craftsmanship. Unfortunately, they are sometimes misunderstood or exaggerated, which leads to misinformation about what they truly represent. Finally, the cultural evolution of Masonic imagery has played a big role in how we perceive these symbols today. Over time, they've changed and adapted to different cultural contexts and popular perceptions. Unfortunately, this evolution has sometimes led to distortions, misinterpretations fueled by sensationalism. To really appreciate what these symbols mean within Freemasonry, we need to look beyond the myths and understand their true historical significance. All of this ties back to our overall theme, demystifying Freemasonry and uncovering the truth behind its symbols and teachings. Now, let's explore the impact of social media on Freemasonry. In recent years, social media has significantly transformed how Masons connect, communicate, and share information. It's made it easier for members to stay in touch regardless of geographical distances, creating a more connected and engaged community. However, this digital shift also brings certain challenges. For instance, the openness of social media can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or misrepresentations about Freemasonry's principles and practices. It's a double-edged sword. While increasing visibility and outreach, it requires members to be mindful of maintaining confidentiality and integrity. Overall, social media has expanded the reach of Freemasonry, allowing it to adapt to the modern age. It's a powerful tool for fostering camaraderie and education, but it also underscores the importance of responsible communication to uphold the tradition and reputation of the fraternity. This evolution reflects how Freemasonry continues to balance tradition with innovation in a digital world. Now, let's talk about how Freemasonry is using social platforms to connect and communicate. Social media really opens up opportunities for us to have open and honest conversations, which helps build a sense of community and makes our organization more visible to the public. It allows members to share their experiences, promote upcoming events, and educate others about what Freemasonry is all about, effectively bridging gaps between generations and fostering a deeper understanding of our core values. You'll notice that hashtags like Masonic Tuesday and movements focused on transparency have really amplified discussions online. These tools help us share stories, clear up misconceptions, and strengthen the sense of community even beyond our local lodges. It's a way to reshape perceptions and also attract a younger audience who are looking for authenticity and connection. Speaking of younger audiences, social media has been a game changer in outreach. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are especially effective because they use visual content, images, videos, stories, that make our message more accessible and engaging. This helps demystify Freemasonry and invites more young people to explore our organization, participate, and find purpose in our shared values. Overall, social media isn't just a marketing tool. It's a vital means to foster dialogue, promote transparency, and connect across generations, ensuring that Freemasonry remains relevant and vibrant in today's digital age. Now, let's turn our attention to how digital trends are shaping perceptions of Freemasonry. First up, viral videos and memes. These have really changed how people see us, often blending humor with misinterpretation. While they can boost awareness and engagement, they also run the risk of oversimplifying our complex traditions. It's a balancing act, adapting our image in a fast-paced social media world without losing the essence of what we stand for. Next, we have the role of influencers. These individuals have a huge impact on shaping perceptions and fostering community. Their ability to reach a wide and diverse audience means they can highlight Masonic values, attract younger members, and spark renewed interest in both our history and current relevance. And finally, social media has opened new avenues for community building. It's now possible for members across the globe to connect, share experiences, and promote events in real time. This digital presence not only strengthens bonds within our fraternity, but also attracts new interest and encourages open dialogue about our values and traditions. Altogether, these trends are reshaping how Freemasonry is viewed and experienced in the modern world, making it more accessible and engaging than ever before. As we look to the future, it's fascinating to consider how Freemasonry may continue to influence and be represented in popular culture. Over the years, we've seen it portrayed in movies, books, and television, often shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Moving forward, this portrayal is likely to evolve, reflecting changing societal attitudes and new interpretations of its symbolism and history. We might see a shift towards more nuanced and accurate representations, helping to demystify the fraternity and highlight its core values like brotherhood, charity, and moral development. At the same time, popular culture will probably keep its fascination with the secretive aspects, fueling ongoing curiosity and debate. This ongoing interaction between Freemasonry and popular culture serves as a mirror of how society perceives secret societies, sometimes as symbols of power, sometimes as misunderstood groups. Ultimately, This relationship will shape how future generations understand Freemasonry's role in history and in modern society, bridging the gap between tradition and contemporary culture. As we look ahead to the next decade, it's exciting to consider how Freemasonry might reemerge in popular culture. We could see more portrayals in film, television, and digital media that highlight themes of brotherhood and secrecy, but also begin to explore the deeper values that the fraternity embodies. This increased visibility might spark curiosity and interest among new audiences. Additionally, as people become more interested in history and mysticism, Masonic symbols and stories could become even more integrated into mainstream storytelling. This offers a great opportunity to present Freemasonry in a more nuanced way, moving beyond stereotypes and showcasing its core principles of community, knowledge, and moral integrity. We can also expect to see Freemasonry featured across a variety of genres, which helps foster intrigue and challenge misconceptions. This diversity in representation not only educates, but also invites a broader public to engage with the fraternity's true values. Looking to the future of media, emerging technologies like virtual reality and interactive storytelling could revolutionize how Freemasonry is portrayed. Imagine immersive experiences that allow viewers to explore Masonic symbols and rituals firsthand, creating a deeper understanding and connection. Social media platforms and podcasts will continue to play a vital role, especially in attracting younger audiences. Engaging content tailored for these mediums can help demystify Freemasonry, making its principles more accessible and relevant to today's society. Overall, the next decade offers a lot of potential for Freemasonry to evolve within popular culture, highlighting its values, dispelling myths, and inspiring new generations to learn more about its rich history and enduring principles. Now, let's explore some exciting opportunities for education and awareness around Freemasonry. One of the most effective ways to do this is by promoting accurate representations in popular culture. When films, books, and media portray Freemasonry authentically, it helps the public understand what we're truly about and dispels many myths that have circulated over the years. Collaborating with filmmakers and authors allows us to ensure that these portrayals are genuine, which not only educates, but also aligns with modern values. This approach can really attract new interest and even inspire potential members. To take this further, we can implement engaging initiatives like interactive workshops, virtual seminars, and social media campaigns. These platforms are perfect for demystifying Freemasonry, making it more accessible and understandable. They spark curiosity, invite questions, and help us reach a diverse audience. The goal is to ensure that our traditions stay relevant and appealing in today's culture. Another powerful tool is hosting conferences and discussion panels. These events create a space for open dialogue, bridging gaps between different generations and perspectives. By involving experts and enthusiastic members, we can foster a deeper understanding and positive perceptions of Freemasonry. Plus, these conversations often lead to more accurate and favorable portrayals in the media, which benefits us all by increasing awareness and participation. Overall, these opportunities, whether through media collaboration, digital outreach, or educational discussions, are vital. They help us tell our story more effectively, ensuring that Freemasonry remains a respected and meaningful part of modern culture. As we wrap up, I want to highlight the key points from today's discussion. First, we've seen how understanding these concepts can really transform the way we approach our work and problem solving. It's about applying these insights to make smarter, more informed decisions. Second, the importance of staying adaptable and open to new ideas can't be overstated. The landscape is always changing, and embracing that change is what keeps us ahead. Finally, remember that the core theme throughout this presentation was about growth and continuous improvement. Whether it's through innovation, collaboration, or learning, these are the principles that will drive our success moving forward. So, as we move ahead, let's keep these ideas in mind, using them to guide our actions and inspire progress. Now, let's take a moment to recap the key points we've covered about Freemasonry's influence in our culture. As we've seen, Freemasonry's presence in literature, film, and art is quite extensive. Its core themes of brotherhood, secrecy, and moral philosophy really resonate with audiences today. These themes help shape stories and societal values, sparking curiosity and sometimes even conspiracy theories, especially in our digital age where information spreads rapidly. It's also important to emphasize that portraying Freemasonry accurately in popular culture is vital. When we stick to the facts, it builds credibility and helps people understand the true nature of the fraternity. Misrepresentations, on the other hand, can reinforce stereotypes or misconceptions that aren't fair or accurate. Proper, well-informed portrayals foster meaningful discussions and appreciation for what Freemasonry actually stands for and its contributions to society. Finally, the ongoing dialogue surrounding Freemasonry reflects how its image continues to evolve over time. As narratives shift, sometimes filled with intrigue or skepticism, it highlights the need for genuine understanding. Striking a balance between myth and reality is essential to forming a clearer, more accurate perception of this ancient fraternity. And that, in essence, ties back to the overall theme of our presentation: understanding the true history and influence of Freemasonry in our culture. As we come to the final thoughts, it's clear that the future of Freemasonry in society will largely depend on how well it can adapt and stay transparent. As cultural norms continue to evolve, the organization will need to embrace modern values while still holding onto its core principles. Doing so is essential for remaining relevant and for making positive contributions within communities and social discussions. Looking ahead, as Freemasonry becomes more visible in popular culture, questions naturally arise about how it's portrayed and what impact that has. It's worthwhile to explore the balance between myth and reality, understanding what's real, what's exaggerated, and how these perceptions influence our understanding of the organization. We should also consider how Freemasonry influences contemporary values, either by fostering a sense of community or, sometimes, by perpetuating stereotypes. Now, I want to turn the discussion to you. As we reflect on how Freemasonry is depicted in popular culture, I'd love to hear your thoughts. For example, how do you think media influences our perception of secrecy and brotherhood? Engaging with these questions can really help us understand how our views are shaped today. What do you think about the role of media and popular culture in shaping our understanding of Masonic values? So I invite you to share your perspective. What's your take? Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. I want to express my heartfelt appreciation for your support and kindness throughout this journey. Your engagement and encouragement truly mean a lot. It's been a privilege to share these insights with you and to explore the power of knowledge together. Remember, this is just the beginning. There's always more to learn and discover. I invite you to continue your own exploration through the Masonic Audiobook Library, which is a resource I deeply value. Once again, thank you for your attention, your support, and your kindness. It's been a pleasure sharing this experience with you.